Hello and welcome back to the, I think, two loyal viewers I have. Good job. Thank you. So, we're continuing on. We're getting to the end. There's only 2 steps left. So these are our 2 rubrics from last day. And I've got a selection of paints because I'm going to be trying some different things with these guys. I've got some Hex Wraith Flame, which is what I normally use to do their eyes now. But on one of them, I'm going to try Tesseract Glow. And I'm also going to try it here. I'll show you that in a bit on the gun. Got some Corax White, also for the eyes. And then over here, I've got... I don't have... Make a quick turn around here. Here we go. I've got some Frost Hearth, Luxion Purple, and a Sepia Wash. I'm going to try and do a heat effect like I promised you on the guns. And then my basic shades that I use on most of my Rubric Marines, Null and Reichland. So, I've also got my wet palette out. And I had a dry palette once upon a time. It existed, I swear to God. I'll be right back. Found it. Alright. So, with that out of the way, I've also got my brushes set up here that I'm going to need for today. Dry palette down. My little wash station ready. Got my coffee ready so that I can mix it up with paint juice later. And let's get into it. Because what I'm going to be doing today is finishing a lot of detail work on these guys. So, here he is, our Rubric Marine from last day. Ooh, I'm missing my Abaddon Black. So that's actually where we're going to start. And I'm just going to take a bit of liquid, a bit of ocean juice, add it there. Add that black to the palette. Take a little bit of ocean juice, mix it in there to thin it down. Carefully lick my paint to make sure it tastes good. Alright. I'm just going to re-black in some of the areas that I know I want to be black. So, this main part of the gun here is supposed to be mostly black. And it's gotten a little unblack. So we're going to re-blacken some of it here. I'm actually using an undersized brush probably for what I'm doing. And that's just because I'm at a stage now where I've got a lot of the stuff done. I don't want to have to come back to it if I don't have to. So I'm going to use little bit smaller brush, take a little bit of extra time, and just accept that. See, I just want to do the rails of the gun. Black. And this is actually something I've never done with a rubric. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think I am now. Call it cheating, but I'm going to leave that unpainted. There's no angle that anyone's ever going to look at this and see that, right? Like, it's low to the ground. It's going to be like this. Unless they pick it up and look around, they're not going to see it. So I'm not going to be worried about it. I love my little mixture. But sometimes it is frustrating when you pause for a moment. It's become more frustrating since I started recording these videos, actually. Because I never really had an issue before. Now I stop and talk. And I start to lose the paint a little bit when I do that. So we're gonna color this guy in. Oh, it's a bit thin. It's still a bit thin. It's better, I think. The only bright side of your paint being a bit thin is that's really not going to glob up. Follow me for poor life advice. Yeah. And the rail. I'm gonna put the rail black. I also don't want to get any on the base. A lot of time into that base. So, carefulness is the name of the game at this stage. And this is where, if at any point I've fooled you into thinking I'm good at this, where it kind of comes through that I'm not, is the time it takes me to do this little work. The time it takes me to do this small stuff, because it's not a quick process. But there we go. Delicious. Now, that's my black. time for my next color. I'm actually not going to thin this down tremendously. Next up, I'm going to get his eyes by hitting it with a little Corax just on the very tip. There we go. And we're also going to hit that eye with a little bit. I think that's the only jewel on this guy. So push that to the side. All right. So we have eyes, we have jewel. Next up. Also, this is the guy contrast painted. I am going to keep going with that Avalanche Sunset contrast paint, but I think this guy here turned out a lot better. Again, not perfect, but for the level of effort it took to do, definitely worth it in my opinion, compared to the norm. Alright, so that's our Abaddon Black can go away and not seal up properly and dry out, as is the fate of all GW paints. Next up, give it a good shake. I'm going to want a bit more of this, so I might... Oh my god! Oh my god! There we go. I might actually put a drop out on my palette. You can't see it, but what I'm doing is I just have this glob of lead belcher here that's way bigger than I intended to take out, but I'm just getting a thinner consistency that I want before I go back to Robbie Rubric. Now, things I want to lead with Belcher are his gun barrel right here. I'm trying to be careful to not get any down inside the barrel, inside those little depressions, but I don't think it's going to work out that way. If you need a basic metallic and you've never seen it, I would say lead belcher is probably the best, at least in terms of coverage. When I'm doing work with metallics, I tend to default to lead belcher. I find it just covers so nicely. It takes such little work to get a good, nice coverage of lead belcher down. Look at that, just a very quick job, and it's really taking. Where we gotta focus. Let's see. There we go. The shadow was messing up the camera. Yeah, it takes so well to pretty well any surface, I find. It just loves to go down, and it loves to cover. So I'm going to do the piping now on his mask. Anything else that I want to let build? Oh, yep. I'm going to do the canister for Promethium. Seriously, look how nice that goes on. Let's get the other side. Hopefully you can see this. I can't tell if the camera's gone out of focus or not. A little bit more on top of the canister. Okay. There we go. We're getting good. We're doing good. One spot I want to touch up with a bit of black. Some might call me a wasteful painter, but I always like to put a little bit of extra paint out for what I need. And then when I see stuff like this, I can just address it without having to get any extra paint out. It's already on the palette. It's perfect. All right. I'm not quite as chatty in this one as I've been in a couple of others. That's just because a lot of the stuff I'm doing is focusing on very small things. And it's easier to focus on very small things when you're not focused on not small things. I'm just going to upgrade my brush here a little bit. I think I want my... Is it my 0? No, it's a 1. That'll do. Right, next thing that's getting lead belchered is going to be that blade. Oh, my dog just decided he's going to make a run for it. He is going to see what he can yell at in the window. And I'm sure we'll hear about that in about 5 seconds. Ah! Lead belchered my thumb. I went up a size in the brush. Just gonna do the blade here. I'm also going to be washing the blade pretty heavily, I think. So I'm not going to be too worried about making sure. Ooh, that's a bit thick. I have perfect coverage. Now I'm going to make a liar out of myself because I'm compelled to do this. There we go. Look at that. One nice shiny Rubric Marine sword. A little bit of paint in my lungs because that's what people want. That's what the audience demands. Just gonna work here to add a little bit of black. A little bit of black to the hilt of his sword here. Again, someone else could do this. They might choose to do it leather. This is just a troop unit. And I do want to eventually finish them. So I'm just going to keep it simple. Yep. We're getting there. Alright. So our black's down, our lead belcher's down. Now to try and get our funkiness on the go. Where's my super funky paint? It's missing. The Funk Rock 5000's gone. There it is. Okay. So, you might be curious about why I have so much lead belcher out. That's because I'm going to do all of these guys tonight. But I'm not. Oh my god, I got a text. But I'm not going to make you guys sit through all that. Alright. Next up, let's try this contrast pattern. So first off, drop it in my... And just shake that a lot better. Shake it to the limit. Limit. Walk along the razor's edge. Oh my god. I don't know if I ever said this, but man, I'm getting more and more appreciative of Army Painter every day for putting those little ball bearings in. And Vallejo, oh my god, I love you, but I wish you would also do that. There we go, that's much better. Okay. So I've got a garbage brush, as I always use for my washing. I refuse to ruin one more nice brush on washes. He says, and then his paint doesn't come off his garbage brush. Do I have another less garbage brush? Let's see if this one works a little better. Okay. That one did work a little better. So I guess we'll use this one. While I'm waiting for that, I'm going to try out this hex wraith. Let's see. It actually does do a nice job with the eyes. And be very careful. Oh, okay. Yeah. And then we're going to do the same thing. Let that whip away. It's actually really nice. I think that that might end up being my standard. I ended up adding a drop of it in and then wicking it away. That ends up being something easier for you guys to do. And then I'm going to use my Hex Wraith contrast. I'm just going to knock some of this off to do the jewel. Ooh, that's less nice. I might have to wait till this dries to fix that oopsie daisy. We'll just put another dollop on. See. All right. So that is eyes, jewel. Okay, it looks like that sepia is dried. So now, if I've understood the assignment correctly, what I'm actually going to do is take a little. I don't think I actually want a super bright purple. So I'm actually going to thin it down a bit. Wick up some purple. Let's see. Moment of truth, guys. Bring some extra light over here. I want this more brushing on than going on like contrast paint. You'll forgive me. I'm not perfect at this. This is my first time trying it. Wait for that to dry. Now, while that's drying, let's get to the OG. Oh, that didn't dry too bad. Not quite what I'd like. I do have a darker green there that I might use later. Oh, I did say I want to try this. So, just gonna take the tiniest dab of Hex Wraith. It might not show up. I don't think it will. No. That darker surface is going to stop it. That's unfortunate. A better painter might be able to get that to work, but not I. Okay. So I'm going to hit up the OG while I wait for that purple to dry. If you've never painted gold before, then you don't know this, and if you have, then you already know this. But Reichland Flesh Shade is probably the greatest paint ever made for doing gold. It just works really well for gold. For whatever reason, it just works. Come on, GW Pot. Cooperate. Okay, we're not going to cooperate, but that's okay. Whatever. So, you don't need to go very heavy at all. And some people will wash everything with the Reichland. But I tend to just favor certain areas. Heavier than I'd like. It does really make gold just pop a nice amount. Gilliman Flesh also does the same. And in some regards, it's even better. It does an even better job of just popping gold. But I stopped using G-Man, the Bobby G, because I found I was losing a little bit of metallic, more than I would have liked. So I started staying away from it and just coming back to Reichland. Because Reichland's never steered me wrong. So, fun fact, actually, speaking of things never steering me wrong, for the first time in my teaching career, I have a little thick there, a little thicker than I wanted. I got my teaching assignment for next year, and it's the exact thing I want, which actually includes another section of art again. So this year was the first time in a while that I've taught art. And the first time that I really wanted to. The last time I taught art as a teacher, I wasn't into any of this yet. But since starting this, I've actually gotten a lot better at being able to explain things to the kids. So this year we did a lot of. I'm just gonna pick out each of these rivets, just so they get a little bit more attention. My dog is snoring next to me. If you hear any sound in the background, that's what it is. Yeah, no, it's the first time I taught art and wanted to teach art. And I'm actually pretty stoked to have it again. This year we all did just working with pencil colors, or pencil, different styles of pencil art. We were learning, got way too heavy. Learning how to do basic techniques like having control and trying to plan things instead of just doing and half-assing something. So I told them that if I managed to get art again next year, we would actually focus on moving from pencil to color. So yeah, we did some basic art design. We're just doing line art now, and then we're gonna end the year by trying to do photorealism and by trying to do photorealism and drawing motion. And then next year, my goal is that we're going to move into using color. Yeah, I'm super jazzed about it. One of the things I did tell my principal was that I would actually love to bring in and pick up some minis. And I might end up not using Games Workshop ones because, I'm not rich. But minis, and probably going to order them from Etsy. And try and do miniature painting because techniques like dry brushing, contrast painting, things like this, because the big thing I do with art is I like to do art in a way that shows that with basic technique, anyone, whether or not they think they're traditionally good at art or not, can make good art, right? That's a big thing that I try and do, is be like, hey, I'm not a good artist, but if I learn this basic common technique, I can make what passes for good art, like to my eyes. Now to fix the paint pot without putting the paint everywhere. Come on, Reichel paint pot, there we go. Yeah, and the kids seem to really enjoy it, so that's a big plus. It really sucks when they hate it. Oh, wait, I want a bit more Reichland. I want to go a bit heavier this time, though, because I'm actually trying and create. I might let it pool in a couple places. So what I'm actually trying to do here is make a. I've never done Reichland on lead belcher, and I'm kind of hoping that the kind of sepia tone of Reichland, if I let it pool up in just a couple places, might make like a rusted look. Don't know if it will or won't. We're gonna find out. Yeah, no, trying to teach them that, just because there's traditionally good at art and there's not traditionally good at art, but that even with basic techniques, someone who's not traditionally good at art can make things that look traditionally good at art. Now, this is a bit thick. So we're going to take a lot off. So I'm just going to try and finish up this heat effect. It actually came out pretty nice so far. Just assuming I don't ruin it right now. Yeah, this is still a bit thick. What I'm trying to do. So yeah, I think it works. This paint here needs to be thinned down a little bit. But that's what I got. Change that light tone way out of it. Actually, yeah, there we go. Looks a lot better actually without the light. Yeah, that's actually pretty easy to do, guys. On my next guys, I'm gonna make sure the blue goes on a lot thinner and really only focus it up towards the top. But I think for a first go, that's pretty good. Alright, bring my light back. I like to see things. Alright. So that's our blue, that's our heat effect on. So lead belcher on. That rusting effect is going to take time. I'm going to have to let that dry. All right, last thing, the null, the liquid skill. And to wonder how I'm going to spill it, because my god, I always spill my null. I need to go on super thick, but I can put on a little thicker than that. And a little thinner than that. There we go. Somewhere there's a happy medium, I swear to God. So I always, with Rubric Marines, because the way their armor works, I just put a little bit in the recesses there, manually. Make sure to get the fingies. null. Any shade is always most important wherever you have seam. That's how I tend to use it. I don't really coat the whole model in it. Some people do, some people I know don't. But I like to use it wherever I have a seam and just focus it there. Obviously that works better in some places and not so well in others on the model. Thinking of the face right here. Because it's hard to just get it in the seams here. Because there's just not a lot of space. On my actual rubrics, I might go back on the brighter parts and re-brighten them after the nulling. But on these guys, I'm not going to. Again, these are meant to be broken, dirty, and grimy. That kind of pitting effect, that's how it ended up turning out. I like how it turned it on this side a lot better. Is it super great for rust? Not really, but is it good enough? Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I might actually, on my actual rubric means I would go back and lighten these up again. Re-hit them. I might still with these guys, but I doubt it. But here we have our guy, pretty close to finished. What's up next is to actually do basing and do the rubric goo, rubric dust, the rubric innards. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed and didn't get bored halfway through and then leave and then get mad and leave an angry comment and all that good jazz. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're happy that it's almost done. And I will hopefully see you next time. Otherwise, have a good day. Stay safe. Be careful when swimming with turtles. They have a surprising bite force. And all the additional YouTube begging.